Good day, everyone. I will present a topic which is the most popular vernacular drama or play presentations. Number one is Moro Moro, a form of theater premised on battles between Christians and Moors, performed in village fiestas in the Philippines from the Spanish colonial period to present. Um, Moro Moro depicts the battle between the Christian and Muslims and the adaptations of the legends about knight errants and princesses. Next, here's the one of the example of Moro Moro. Next is the Carillo. It is a shadow play using puppets made from cardboard. The themes were derived from the libretto from Don Quixote, Buhay ng Mahal ng Panginoong Hesukristo. And Carillo, it is a shadow play using puppets. And here's the example of Carillo. Zarzuela, often defined as Spanish opera, is a theatrical play that contains musical art. It's a piece of entertainment with improvised plots that use in comic, tragic, fantastic, melodramatic, or a combination of all. Latter, these fiestas de zarzuelas were simply called zarzuela that involved singing and dancing. In it, it has no definite form. Singing was free and imaginative. And the previous pictures are the example of zarzuela. Cenaculo. Cenaculo is a nationwide event that helps devote locals relive biblical events pertinent to the life, tribulations, and ultimate sacrifice of Jesus Christ. A cenaculo is a traditional dramatization of the events regarding Jesus Christ suffered before and after crucifying him. Derivative such tradition in the Bible and other texts, apocrypha, usually held in the streets or in the yard of the church. And here's the one of the examples of cenaculo. The next form of art is dance. Dance involves a successive group of bodily motions and steps rhythmically performed and timed to music. It is said to be the oldest of the arts and mother of the arts. Dancing is both an art and a form of recreation. As an art, a dance may tell a story, set a mood, or express an emotion. As a form of recreation, the dancing has long provided fun, relaxation, and companionship. Next. Um, why do people dance? People dance because they worship, because of courtship, magical powers, companionship, to bring victory, restore health, fun and entertainment, to give beauty and inspiration, relieve the monotony of life, express joy. Next, ethnological. Here's of the kinds of dances. Ethnological or ethnic dance. This kind of dance is native to a special race or ethnic group. It includes folk dancing and religious rituals. Next. And here's the example of the religious rituals and folk dance. Waltz, social ballroom dancing. Next is waltz, or social ballroom dancing. Regarded as a source of public entertainment, it is also effective exercise as prescribed by medical practitioners to young professionals whose work is sedentary in nature. Um, is regarded as a source of public entertainment. It also is also a effective exercise as prescribed by medical practitioners to young professionals whose work is sedentary in nature. And the next picture are the example of social ballroom dancing, which are folk dance. Wait, mali. Ayan, which is cha-cha. And the next picture, okay, theatrical or spectacular dance is performed for the entertainment of the spectators, includes that ballet, modern dance, musical comedy dances, and tap dancing. Is performed for the entertainment spectators. The next slides is example of theatrical or spectacular dance, which are ballet and the modern dance. Next one is music. Um, Music, the word music comes from the Greek word musike, which means art of the muses. In ancient Greece, the muses included the goddess of music, poetry, art, and dance. Music is a sound that perceived by our ears. Music is the art of combining sounds of varying pitch to produce a coherent composition that is melodious, harmonious, intelligible, and expressive of ideas and emotions. Um, a form of entertainment that puts sound together in a way that people like or find interesting. Most music includes people singing with their voice or playing musical instruments. Uh, Music is an important part of people's way of life, like religious ceremonies, rite of passage, ceremonies, graduation and marriage, social activities, cultural activities. Acoustic or physical nature of music. Number one is acoustic and physical characteristic. Music is a science. Music is a science. Acoustic is the science of sound and the physical basis of music. The next one is music is sound and silence. Music is an aural phenomenon. We listen and respond to its sound. Next is music moves through time. Music moves from one movement to the next as to do motion picture. The next nature of music is cultural, artistic, and functional qualities. Music is an art. Music is an art. Great music, as with the work of art, can have universal appeal, may be remembered for years and has degree of substance that challenges the listener and the performer. Next is the music is a universal phenomenon. Music exists in all nations and among all people, and has existed as far back in time as we know about people and their cultures. The musical languages, styles, and functions have different considerably. Music is a means of expression. Um, Music can communicate feelings and images and can generate aesthetic responses. Responses that may be universal and transcend cultural boundaries or may be culture specific or non-universal. Next one is the music is a psychological phenomenon. Music has the ability to affect and change people's feelings and attitudes. Music is used to therapeutically to help physical and mentally challenge people. Also, music can relieve our stress and uh, other other mental health issues. Music changes. Music changes as society serves changes and because people's needs and taste changes. Music is a process. People of all ages are involved in the process of music as creators, performers, or listeners. Without these three functions, music does not exist. And music as a process, creative process, choosing the elements of the sound and organizing them in some way to achieve uh, a desired result. The creator's own piece of music, performance process, interpretative, music as a process, performance process, interpretative with the goal of adhering as closely as possible to the intentions of the creator. A performer will interpret a piece of music based at times on his or her musical instinct. Music as a process, it is a listening process. It can be passive, as with background music, or active, as with going to concert or listening attentively to a favorite CD. Musical precision is the acquired ability to listen to music intelligently. It implies two important facts: that the ability to appreciate music is not inborn and that it may be acquired by anyone who makes up his mind to do so. Uh, here, Here's some of the music genres. Rock music, known for energetic performances, catchy melodies, and often insightful lyrics, is a broad genre of popular music that originated as rock and roll in the United States in the late 1940s and early 1950s, and developed into a range of different styles in the mid 1960s and later, particularly in the United States and the United Kingdom. Next, music genres is the hip hop music, commonly accompanies rapping, a rhythmic and rhyming speech that is chanted. Also known as rap music, is a genre of popular music developed in the United States by inner city African Americans and Latino Americans in the Bronx borough of New York City in the 1970s. Next is the jazz music. Jazz is characterized by swing and blue notes, complex chords, call and response vocals, polyrhythms, and improvisation. Um, it's a music genre that originated in the African American communities of New Orleans, United States in the late 19th and early 20th century, with these roots in blues and ragtime. Next is pop music. Pop is pop music is the genre of popular music that produces the most hits, often called simply pop, is contemporary music and a common type of popular music. The genre of popular music that originated in its modern form during the mid-1950s in the United States. Next. The next genre is the blues. It's a state of depression or melancholy. The blues is a distinctive indigenous Black American song form, important not only in its own right, but also because it was major element in the evolution of jazz and later rock and roll. Um, Blues is a music genre and musical form which was originated in the deep south of the United States around the 1870s by African Americans from roots in African musical traditions. Next is country music. Country music, a style and genre of largely string-accompanied American popular music, having roots in the folk music of the Southeast and cowboy music of the West, usually vocalized generally simple in form and harmony, and typified by romantic or melancholy ballads, accompanied by acoustic or electric guitar, banjo, violin, and harmonica. It's a genre, popular music that takes its roots from genres such as blues and old-time music, and various types of American folk musics, including Appalachian, Cajun, and the cowboy western music styles. Next is the classical music. Classical music as a music written in a Western musical tradition, usually using an established form, for example, a symphony. Classical music is generally considered to be serious and to have a lasting value. Is art music produced or rooted in the tradition of Western culture, including both liturgical and secular. Next is the next genre is heavy metal music, a rock music that includes a group of related styles that are intense, virtuosic, and powerful, driven by the aggressive sound of the distorted electric guitar. Heavy metal is arguably the most commercially successful genre of rock music. Um, it's a Heavy metal is a genre of rock music that developed in the late 1960s and early 1970s, largely in the United Kingdom and the United States. Theater music, any music designed to form part of a dramatic performance, as for example a ballet, stage play, motion picture, or television program. Is a form of theatrical performance that combines songs, spoken dialogue, acting, and dance. The story and emotional content of musical, humor, pathos, love, anger are communicated through words, music, movement, and technical aspect of the entertainment as an integrated whole. Next is punk music. Um, it refers to a style of aggressive urban dance music driven by hard synap- syncopated by bass lines and drum beats and accented by any number of instruments involved in rhythmic counterplay, all working toward a groove. It's a music genre that originated in African American communities in the mid-1960s when musicians created a rhythmic, danceable new form of music through a mixture of soul music, jazz and rhythm and blues. Next is the punk rock music. Punk rock is a music genre that emerged in the mid-1970s, rooted Rooted in 1960s garage rock, punk buds rejected the perceived excesses of mainstream 1970s rock, aggressive form of rock music that coalesced, coalesced into an international movement. 1975 to 80, often politicized and full of vital energy beneath a sarcastic hostile. Okay, punk spread as an ideology and an aesthetic approach, becoming an archetype of teen rebellion and alienation. Next is dance music. Dance music, or it also known as the club music, or simply dance, is a broad range of percussive electronic music genres made largely for nightclubs, raves, festival. Dance music, composed especially to facilitate or accompany dancing, it can be either a full musical piece or part of a larger musical arrangement. In terms of performance, the major categories are live dance music and recorded dance music. Um, Next is the disco. Disco music, beat-driven style of popular music that was the preeminent form of dance music in the 1970s. Its name was derived from discotheque, the name for the type of dance-oriented nightclub that first appeared in the 1960s. It's a genre of dance music and a subculture that emerged in the 1970s. From the United States urban nightlife scene, its sound is typified by four on the floor beats, syncopated bass lines, strings, sections, horn, electric piano, synthesizers, and electric rhythms guitar. Next is the pop rock mu- ay, Next is pop rock music, with a greater emphasis on professional songwriting and recording craft and less emphasis on attitude, originating in the late 1950s as an alternative to normal and rock and roll. Early pop rock was influenced by the beat, arrangements, and original original style of rock and roll. The next one is the reggae music. Reggae music is a music genre that originated in Jamaica in the late 1960s. The term also denotes the modern popular music of Jamaica and its diaspora. The next one is the swing music, both the rhythmic impetus of jazz music and a specific jazz idiom, prominent between about 1935 and the mid-1940s, years sometimes called the swing era. Music has a compelling momentum that results from musicians' attack and accenting in relation to fixed beat. Swing music is a form of jazz developed in the United States in the 1930s and the 1940s. The name came from the emphasis on the offbeat or bigger pulse. The next one is the techno music. It's a form of electronic dance music that came of age in the late 1980s and 1990s. While some forms of dance music rely on live instruments such as disco and early R&B, techno is created using electronic instruments. Um, it's a genre of electronic dance music that is characterized by a repetitive four on the floor beat, which is generally produced for use in continuous DJ set. The central rhythm is often in common time, while the tempo typically varies between 120 and 150 beats per minute. Next one is the instrumental music. Music intended to be performed by a musical instrument or group, of instruments music produced by playing a musical instrument is a recording without any vocals, although it might include some inarticulate vocals, such as shouted backup vocals in a big band setting. Through semantic widening, a broader sense of the word song may refer to instrumentals. The music is primarily or exclusively produced using musical instruments. Next one is the crossover music of one style and another, especially in music or fashion, is a combination of the two different styles. In music or fashion, if someone makes a crossover from one style to another, they become successful outside the style they were originally known for. The term applied to musical works or performers who appeal to different types of audience. For example, by appearing on two or more of the record charts, which track differing musical styles or genres. If the second chart combines genres, such as a Hot 100 list, the work's not a crossover.
Good evening, everyone. I am Maria Shanta Paula Tangonan Patdu, and I am going to discuss the last remaining topics under the Module 4. So first, we have here the production process. Under the production process, nahahati yan sa three main stages, namely pre-production, production, and the post-production. Kapag sinabi natin pre-production, it is the work done on a product, especially a film or broadcast program, before full-scale production begins. So, dito papasok yung planning, scripting, and then storyboarding. Na kung saan, sa filmmaking kasi or video production, before magkaroon ng pre-production, kailangan muna ng go signal. Na kung saan, kailangan ng gumawa ng isang project or kailangan ng simulan yung isang project. So, of course, paano ka mag-i-start ng pre-production if wala ka namang project na kailangan gawin? So, kailangan natin ng go signal. So, yun nga, gaya nga ng sabi, dito pumapasok yung planning, scripting, and storyboarding na kung saan lahat ng mangyayari is dapat planado na. From the cast, yung mga costumes, yung mga props na gagamitin is kailangan planado na, and then yung sa shooting, kunwari, umaga yung scene, of course, kailangan planuhin na ganitong oras. And then, kung gabi, dapat planuhin na ganitong oras. So, lahat ng mangyayari is kailangang planado. And then, sa scripting naman, so dito, kapag nabigay na yung mga script, and then yung mga scenes, of course, nagkakaroon yan ng read-through of the script or lahat ng cast, kasama yung mga managers, producers, ganon, and then yung mga ibang kasama pa sa film, is kailangan, yun nga, gagawa sila ng read-through of the script para alam or ituturo sa kanila kung paano nila papasukan yung isang scene, anong mangyayari sa scene na yun, and then kung ano yung tone, mood sa scene na yun. So, ganun ang mangyayari sa pre-production. And then sa production naman, so, it is the action of making or manufacturing from components of raw materials or the process of being so manufactured. So, dito na pumapasok yung actual shooting or actual recording na kung saan lahat ng plinano natin sa pre-production is i-apply na natin sa production. So, yung mga props, yung plinano natin props, mga costumes, and then yung cast, of course, andun na, i-film na sila kung saan kailangan yung actual footage or yung footage na makuha is high quality na. So, yung mga na-records, kailangan tama na sila or okay na. Kasi, sabi, kapag nasa production process na tayo, i-aim na daw na high quality of footage yung makukuha natin. Kasi kapag pumunta tayo sa post-production, hindi na siya makokorek doon. So, kailangan tama na lahat sa production natin. So, sa post-production naman tayo. So, post-production is the work done that is done on a film or recording after filming or recording has taken place. So dito, pumapasok na yung everything between the production and the creating of the final master copy. So, yun nga, papasok dito yung cutting, editing, yung adding of colors, adjusting of sounds, mga background music, and background noise. So, dito kailangan natin ng post-production kasi bago tayo pumunta sa final copy ng product natin, of course, i-adjust muna natin yung mga sounds. Kung mas malakas yung mga background music, kung mas malakas yung background noise, of course, kailangan nating i-equalize yan para sa mas ikagaganda ng project natin. So, yun yung sa post-production. And then, clarification lang. So, kapag sinabi nga natin na pre-production, dito papapasok yung planning, scripting, and then yung storyboarding. Kapag production naman, dito na papasok yung actual shooting and recording. And then sa post-production, so dito na yung creating of the final master copy. So let's move forward na sa different roles of curators, managers, buyers, collectors, and dealers. So first, we have here the art curators. So an art curator is responsible for implementing and managing art exhibitions and collections, typically at museums by collecting, organizing, evaluating, and cataloging arts, collectibles, and historical items. They also participate in conceptualizing exhibitions, researching artwork, and doing outreach for organizations by providing instructional activities, educational, and public service programs. So, yung main role ng ating art curators, gaya nga ng sabi, they are acquiring, collecting, and cataloging work of arts, as well as ensuring the overall care ng mga items na nasa loob ng museums or gagamitin for exhibitions. So, art curator also involves in research kasi gumagawa yan ng mga, or they are writing articles na kung saan yun nga gagamitin nila to give lectures. So, duties and responsibilities. So, may mga different duties and responsibilities yung art curators natin na kailangan nilang gawin to accomplish their tasks in exhibitions or implementing exhibitions and managing collections. So, dito papasok yung manage collections, develop and implement exhibitions, research and publication, administer public program. So, dun muna tayo sa manage collections. So, the art curator must record and catalog all artworks and items in collections, including researching objects for the purpose of identification and authentication. So, dito, kailangan nakalist out lahat ng items. Then, yung art curator natin, kailangan nilang i-ensure yung adequate care of the objects na nasa museum and yun nga, yung mga gagamitin sa exhibitions. Sometimes, they are also responsible for the acquisition of new collection items and overseeing museum purchases and gifts. So, yun yung role ng yun yung duties ng art curators when it comes sa pag-manage ng collections. So, sa develop and implement exhibitions naman. So, conceptualizing, planning, and installing exhibitions is a crucial part of the job ng mga art curators natin. So, this include acquisitions and exhibitions, proposals, planning, and the presentation of the installing artworks and objects, as well as the creating labels and interpret the materials and training docents and other museum staffs on exhibitions, presentation, and information. So, yung docent, yun yung mga person who acts as a guide, typically on a voluntary basis, especially in a museum, art gallery, or even in zoo. So, yung sa develop and implement exhibitions nga. So, yun, tinatrain nila yung mga docents and other museum staffs. Research and publication. So, dito naman, art curator must play an active role in the art community by publishing research and information to journals, catalogs, and books. So they are responsible for maintaining updated knowledge of the art market and in-depth knowledge of their collections and exhibitions. Of course, dito, sa research and publication, dapat lahat is up to date. Yung mga informations na nilalagay is dapat na-research ng maayos. Tsaka based on facts lahat, hindi pwedeng hula-hula lang. So, next, administer public programs. Art curators must develop and oversee educational programs and donor cultivation plans for their organization. They are responsible for creating and strengthening educational and interpretational materials and curricula, building relationships with the community and training teachers and museum staff. So, yung mga art curators natin, they administer public programs in order for us or for everyone to maintain a strong relationship with the public. So, yun yung dito sa administer public programs. Kung bakit nag-a-administer ng public programs, yung art curators natin is for us or for everyone to maintain a strong relationship with the public. So, skills. So, yung mga art curators natin, may mga skills yan. So, they are knowledgeable enough in their field, highly educated and excellent communicators with strong interpersonal skills. So, meron tayong core skills or pumapasok dito sa art curator skills yung core skills and yung advanced skills. So, kapag sinabing core skills, employers want art curators with these core skills. If you want to work as an art curator, you need to focus on the following skills. So, number 1, having a deep knowledge of arts including artists, artistic forms, and artistic methods. So, of course, dapat maalam ang art curator in everything related about arts. Number 2, processing specialized knowledge on specific subjects in art and history. So, dito dapat knowledgeable yung mga art curators in a specific topic. Hindi lang about sa arts, kundi kailangan na rin alamin yung about sa history. So, number 3, working in museum settings with knowledge of exhibitions, development, and operations as well as curatorial practices. So, yun nga, dapat maalam din sa mga exhibitions and of course other things about curatorial process or practices yung isang art curators or yung kailangang skills ng art curator, so dapat maalam siya. Number 4, developing relationships with important collectors, artists, scholars, and others in the art market. So, dapat alam or magkaroon ng magandang pakikisama sa mga tao yung isang art curators, especially doon sa mga taong related or mahilig sa arts. Then, number 5, researching artists and related subjects. Number 6, managing multiple projects and collaborating with cross-functional teams. So, dito, dapat may kakayahang mag-manage ng mga projects. Gaano man karami yung projects na yon, yung art curators or yung mag-a-apply as art curators. Then, dapat makipag-collaborate din with other teams, of course, to share and gather information. So, kaya niya dapat na makipag-collaborate sa other teams. So, advanced skills. So, while most employers did not require the following skills, multiple job listing included them as preferred. And add this to your art creator toolbox and broaden your career options. So, ayun. May mga employers daw na din nire-require yung 6 skills na binanggit ko na. But, yung iba naman is ibinibigay or nilalagay nila yung mga core skills as preferred. So, kung gusto natin na mas maging maalam pa tayo at of course, for us to have advanced skills, i-practice na natin yung mga core skills na yun, especially if we really want to be an art curator. So, next, art managers. The art manager performs research analysis, analyzes target markets, and consider artistic requirements of clients. So, yung sa art managers natin, sila yung nagre-research para sa target market, kung kanino or kung sino yung mga bibili ng mga artworks and also kung kanino natin ibebenta. And syempre, kailangan din na i-consider nila yung mga artistic requirements ng mga clients. So, hindi lang kabod na naghanap sila ng bibili or naghanap sila ng pagbibilhan. So, most art managers are also the one who hires, train, and supervise artists, animators, or cartoonists, illustrators, photographers, graphic designers, or the other employers within the department. So, yon sila din daw yung nag-hire ng mga staffs or yung mga employees. So, next is art gallery managers. So, art gallery managers oversees the planning, preparation, and maintenance of exhibits in their galleries. So, they also schedule programs and staff of their working gallery needs and may also arrange for the work to be transported. They need a degree in art management or related field. So, of course, yung mga art gallery managers natin, kailangan art-related yung mga natapos nilang kurso or yung sa field nila is art-related. Of course, paano ka nga ba magiging art manager kung hindi naman related sa art yung field na natapos mo? So, art buyers. It is an art buyer's job to produce commercial advertisements or advertising projects while maintaining creative integrity within a budget. So they understand all of the project needs and are able to source the appropriate vendors. So dito naman, yung mga art buyers, they are attracting the public on a specific product of art. And at the same time, andun pa rin yung integrity sa budget. So, yung mga projects is alam nila na may appropriate vendors para sa mga yon. So, art collectors. Art collectors are different than donors who support the cultural production by giving money. So, collectors are totally involved in the market or in the art market and have general important artistic knowledge. They often are specialized in a specific sector. They support the artistic creation, develop the art market. Yung mga collectors, involved sila sa art market and syempre mayroon silang enough knowledge about sa arts. So, art dealers. So, an art dealer typically seeks out various artists to represent and builds relationship with collectors and museums whose interests are likely to match the work of the represented artist. When dealers buy works of art, they resell them either in their galleries or directly to collectors. So, yung mga art dealers naman, so naghahanap lang sila ng mga artists. So that yung mga artist na yon sila yung makikipag-communicate sa mga collectors or even in museums na kung saan magmamatch yung hinahanap ng mga collectors sa work of art na meron yung mga artist or yung isang artist na yon. So then yung mga art dealers, yung mga nabibili nila na artwork is ibinebenta rin nila yon. So bibili sila or kung sakali mong may mabili sila, ibebenta nila yon sa mga art galleries or magdadirect sila sa mga art collectors. So, next topic na tayo, which is yung the national and Gamaba artists' notable works and their contributions to society. So, dito pahapyaw lang to. Bali, ni-research ko na lang kung sino nga ba yung mga national or Gamaba artist awardees natin. So, national and Gamaba artist awardees. We have here si Ginaw Bilog, Masino Intaray, Samaon Sulaiman, Lang Dulay, Salinta Monon, Alonzo Zaclag, Federico Caballero, Uwang Ahadas, Tarhata Sawabi, Eduardo Mutok, Hadja Amina Api, Teofilo Garcia, and Magdalena Gamayo. So, ano nga ba yung mga contribution nitong mga Gamaba awardees natin sa society? So, yung contribution nila is dahil sa nakilala sila sa buong mundo, bukod pa doon sa nakilala sila sa halos sa buong mundo, of course, dahil sa mga gawa nila or yung sa mga work of arts nila is parang nakilala na rin yung lugar nila and even yung Philippines nang dahil sa kanila. And also, dahil sa mga work of arts nila or mas napatagal pa or parang na-preserve pa yung mga work of arts na gawa nila, parang hindi agad nakalimutan. So, yun yung contribution nila sa society. So, papahapyawan ko lang, we have here si Ginaw Bilog. So, he was known for his efforts in preserving the Mangyan poetry tradition of Ambahan. While si Massimo Intaray naman, an outstanding master of basal, kulilal, and bagit. Silang Dulay, she is created with preserving her people's tradition of weaving tinalak, so a dyed fabric made from refined abaca fiber. Alonso Saclag, so Kalinga master of dance and the performing arts from Lubwagan, Kalinga. Hadja Amina Api, Filipino master mat weaver and teacher from the Sama indigenous people of Ungos, Matata, Tandubas. So, Tawi-Tawi. So, she was created for creating colorful pandan mats with complex geometric patterns. So, we have here si Samaon Sulaiman, achieved the highest level of excellence in the art of Kotiapi playing. Si Eduardo Mutok, so Kapampangan master, craftsman of religious and secular art in plated silver. So si Uwang Ahadas, cited for his talent and expertise in playing various Yakan musical instruments and for sharing his knowledge to the young people of his community. Federico Caballero, so Filipino epic chanter siya. Kilala siya sa mga gawa niya na Tikum Kadlum, Amburukoy, Drikaryong Pada, Pahagunong, Kalampay, Sinagnayan, Balanakon, and Humadapnon. So, way back grade 11 or 12 or even mga grade 10 pa lang siguro is napag-aralan natin or napahapyawan na natin yung mga work of art ni Federico Caballero. Medyo familiar na siguro tayo doon sa mga nabanggit. So, Darhata Sawabi. So, Filipino weaver from Parang, Sulu, known for his Peace Shabit, a traditional tausug cloth tapestry worn as a head covering by the people of Holo. So, si Salin Tamonon, she was known for her Bagobo Tagabawa textile and was known as the last Bagobo weaver. Teofilo Garcia, so is the best known for his work with tabungaw, a unique, functional, all-weather headpiece made of native gourd. And lastly, we have here si Magdalena Gamayo, master weaver of the Inabel cloth, the historical cotton fabric bartered for gold in the Galeon trade and mentioned in the classic Ilocano epic Biyag ni Lamang. So that's all. Thank you for listening and God bless us all.